past few years, the housing market has gone through its fair share of ups and downs. Today I'm going to be speaking with Kaajal Shahani, a well-known realtor here in the San Francisco Bay Area, and getting her insights, tips, and expertise on buying a home in today's market. Once someone decides they're ready to start buying a home, what are some of the first steps they should consider?
What you want to do first is find yourself a good realtor, and secondly, you need to get pre-approved before you start shopping.
How do you decide on the location of your home?
Well, it really depends on your lifestyle. A lot of my clients have kids, so schools are very important, and secondly, commute is very important for them. So if you're living about 30 to 40 miles away from your work, obviously that's not going to work for people that have kids. So a lot of my clients do schools, they do commute factor, and of course number 3 is lifestyle. If you like to go out, or if you need parks, it really depends on how you live, and then from there we can decide which city.
Kaajal, should the resale value of a home be something to consider when making a decision?
Absolutely, resale factor is very important. You want to make sure your investment is safe, so you want to buy in a location that is something that does not have, for example, a railroad that backs a house, or a main road, or any major noise factors. Those are all factors that will affect your resale value. Schools are important, but if you don't buy in a good school district, it doesn't necessarily mean that your resale is gone. You just want to make sure the location is good.
So when a buyer is looking for a home, they're not going to find everything they want in one particular home. What are some aspects of a house they could compromise on when making their decision?
So when looking for a house, I usually tell my buyers, do not compromise on location. That is something that's not changeable. So if you want to stick to a good school district, do not compromise on that. If you want to stick to a commute factor, absolutely do not compromise on that. But there are certain things of a house that you can compromise on, and it's usually cosmetic. So, a lot of my clients will walk into an older house, for example, and the kitchen will be from the 60s, and the bathrooms will be, something that's not to their taste. Not a big deal though. So what we do is we walk through the house, and I can give them a budget as to how much they need to upgrade their house. And if they like the location and they like the actual floor plan of the house, you should absolutely compromise on the cosmetics. Kitchen, bathroom, flooring, paint, those are easy fixes. And I can definitely help you out with that. And there's certain actually aspects also, like, for example, a lot of my clients say, oh, the plumbing is old, or the electrical is old, the roof is old. Those are also not cosmetic items, but they are items that can be fixed very easily.
So should this be a consideration when the buyer is looking into the age of a home?
Yes and no, it depends. If it has good bones, if it's been well taken care of, then absolutely not. I think an older house is absolutely fine. There's a certain degree of architectural difference in an older house. A lot of my clients prefer newer houses because of the higher ceilings, etc. But some people like that old style, ranch style house. So it really just depends on what you're looking for. But when it comes to cosmetics, absolutely don't get stuck on an older kitchen or an older bathroom. That can totally be fixed. Garage doors, the roll-up garage doors these days are very contemporary. That's easily fixable. So anything cosmetic, absolutely compromise on.
If someone already owns their home and is looking to upgrade or move on and purchase another home, what are some of the first things they should take into consideration?
Right, it can be a very stressful process, because a lot of my move-up sellers always think, well, if my house sells quickly, where am I going to go? And they definitely don't want to make that move twice. A lot of times though, in this market, when it's truly a seller's market and homes do sell so quickly, a lot of my clients do have to move twice, which is actually, it's okay, because you're not going to be buying in a rush. You don't want to close on your house and feel pressured to buy your next house. You kind of want to take that time. So a lot of my clients do move twice, but if you absolutely do not want to do that, what we can do is ask for your new buyer for a rent back. And what that means is the buyer closes on your house, and you in turn become their tenant for 30 days, 60 days, sometimes even up to 90 days. And that works really well for move-up sellers.
Having been a home buyer myself, I know that the standard down payment of a home is about 20%. Is that still the norm in this market?
It is. The 20% conventional loan program is the norm these days. However, there are certain loan programs that are catered towards people that don't have the 20%. And that would be the 80-10-10 program, which is awesome. You need 10% down. There is an FHA right now, which is at 3.5% or 5%. So the people that do not have 20%, there are options. Obviously, interest rates vary. You are going to get the best interest rate with 20% down with, let's say, 720 plus FICO score, your credit score. But if you're at 80-10-10, same thing, great rate. The rates do differ when you are with FHA, 3.5% to 5%. And then also the other part to that is if you're buying a condo, your condo rate is always a quarter more than your standard, whether you're putting 20% down or less than 20% down.
So who pays the closing costs when buying a home?
So if you are buying, for example, in Alameda County, the closing costs do vary by county. So if you're buying in Alameda County, for my buyers, I say approximately 2% of purchase price. It varies between 1.5% and 2%. Santa Clara County, for the buyer, it's less because the seller actually pays closing costs. So your closing cost in Santa Clara County is about 1% of purchase price. You can always contact me at Intero Fremont. My name is Kaajal Shahani. You can always check out my website, which I have a lot of information for buyers and sellers, and it's just www.kaajalshahani.com.